Have you ever wondered how a single invention, meant to solve a simple problem, could spiral into a catastrophe that changed the fate of millions? Today, on Forgotten Frontiers, we dive into one of history's most shocking stories: how one man, in his quest for progress, unintentionally poisoned the entire planet. This is not the tale of a tyrant or a warlord, but of an inventor whose brilliance unleashed devastating consequences. From the advent of leaded gasoline to the ripple effects still felt in modern times, this story reveals the hidden costs of innovation and the profound lessons humanity must learn. Stay with us as we uncover the legacy of the man behind one of the greatest tragedies in human history, only here on Forgotten Frontiers. The accidental discovery in 1944. In 1944, a young chemist named Clair Patterson decided to join the Manhattan Project immediately after completing his master's degree. His task was to isolate uranium-235 isotopes, used as fissile material for nuclear reactions, from uranium-238, the more common isotope in nature. This work required the use of a mass spectrometer, a device capable of separating uranium isotopes based on their slight differences in mass. After World War II ended, Patterson continued his studies for a PhD and chose a research project that leveraged his experience with the mass spectrometer, determining the age of the Earth. His method was based on the principle of radioactive decay, specifically how uranium-238 decays into a series of different elements, ultimately forming stable lead-206. The decay rate is a constant, with uranium-238's half-life being 4.5 billion years. By measuring the ratio of uranium to lead in rocks, Patterson hoped to calculate the Earth's age. To calibrate the mass spectrometer for this research, Patterson used zircon crystals, an ideal mineral for this purpose because it contains uranium when formed, but no lead. Thus, any lead found in zircon must have resulted from uranium decay. Patterson handled lead measurements, while another student, George Tilton, measured uranium levels. Tilton's uranium readings were accurate, but Patterson's lead measurements were unexpectedly high, indicating contamination from external sources. Tracing the source of this contamination became the focus of Patterson's life's work, leading him to an unexpected discovery related to leaded gasoline. The story of leaded gasoline. The tale of leaded gasoline began in 1908 when Byron Carter, the founder of an automobile company, died in an accident while helping a woman start her car using a hand crank. Carter's death motivated Henry Leland, the founder of Cadillac and Carter's friend, to eliminate the hand crank from cars. Leland assigned this task to Charles Kettering, who successfully developed an electric starter system for automobiles. The Cadillac Model 30, launched in 1911, became the world's first car equipped with an electric starter, eliminating the need for hand cranks. However, the Model 30 introduced a new problem: engine knocking. Engine knocking occurs when the fuel-air mixture in a cylinder ignites prematurely, causing uneven combustion. This reduces engine efficiency and can damage internal components. The solution was found in adding tetraethyl lead to gasoline. Tetraethyl lead prevented the fuel-air mixture from igniting prematurely, thus reducing engine knocking. To evaluate a fuel's ability to withstand compression, scientists developed the octane rating system. In this system, isooctane, which resists compression well, is given an octane rating of 100, while N-heptane, which resists compression poorly, is rated 0. Although real-world fuels are complex mixtures of hydrocarbons, a fuel's octane number indicates its compression resistance compared to a mixture of these two substances. For instance, a fuel with an octane rating of 98 resists compression like a mixture of 98% isooctane and 2% N-heptane. High-octane fuels are crucial for high-performance engines to prevent knocking and optimize efficiency. Charles Kettering tasked a 27-year-old engineer, Thomas Migley Jr., with developing an additive that could increase fuel octane levels and eliminate knocking. Migley's discovery of tetraethyl lead. Thomas Migley experimented with numerous compounds, from melted butter and camphor to ethyl acetate and aluminum chloride. Most of these tests failed. Ethanol stood out as an effective anti-knock agent, but required large amounts, about 10% of the fuel mixture, to be effective, making it expensive and unprofitable. Migley sought a cheaper, more efficient additive that could work at low concentrations. After 5 years of tireless research, Migley discovered tetraethyl lead on December 3, 1921. This compound with a central lead atom proved to be the perfect solution. Effective, odorless, inexpensive, and easy to produce. Even a small amount, about 1%, was enough to achieve the desired anti-knock effect. Enthusiastic about his discovery, Migley presented it to Charles Kettering, predicting massive profits from this groundbreaking invention. However, tetraethyl lead came with a dark secret. Lead is an extremely toxic substance, even in small amounts. Migley and his team were aware of its toxicity but chose to prioritize profitability over safety. Despite warnings from health experts, including those from prestigious institutions like MIT, Harvard, and the U.S. Public Health Service, their concerns were dismissed. The public health crisis and lead poisoning. As the production of leaded gasoline increased, so did its impact on public health. Workers in lead production facilities began experiencing severe lead poisoning. In one infamous incident at a New Jersey plant, dozens of workers were poisoned and 5 died. To quell public fears, Migley held a press conference where he poured tetraethyl lead on his hands and inhaled its vapors for a minute, claiming it was safe. However, this was a facade. Migley himself suffered from lead poisoning shortly afterward, spending months in Florida to recover. Lead poisoning is highly dangerous because it mimics calcium in the body, accumulating in bones over time. It causes chronic toxicity, particularly affecting the brain, where it damages the protective myelin sheath around nerve fibers and disrupts neurotransmitter release. Symptoms range from headaches and memory loss to developmental and behavioral problems, especially in children. Despite growing evidence of its dangers, the leaded gasoline industry, backed by powerful corporations like General Motors, DuPont, and Standard Oil, continued to deny the risks, funding studies to claim lead was harmless. Clair Patterson's battle against lead pollution. In the 1950s, Clair Patterson unintentionally stumbled upon the lead pollution crisis while studying the age of the Earth. He found that lead contamination was interfering with his measurements, leading him to create one of the first ultra-clean laboratories to eliminate external contamination. His research revealed alarming levels of lead in the environment, primarily caused by leaded gasoline. By analyzing deep-sea sediments and ice cores, Patterson demonstrated that atmospheric lead levels had increased significantly over the past 4,500 years due to human activity, with a sharp spike in the 20th century. Further studies compared lead levels in modern Americans' bones and teeth with those of ancient mummies. The results were shocking. Contemporary humans had 1,000 times more lead in their bodies than their ancestors. Patterson's work became instrumental in raising awareness of the dangers of lead pollution and advocating for the elimination of leaded gasoline. The global ban on leaded gasoline. Thanks to Patterson's research and relentless advocacy, countries began phasing out leaded gasoline. Japan was the first to ban it in 1986, followed by many others. In 2021, Algeria became the last country to officially stop using leaded gasoline. The global ban has been credited with saving over 1 million lives annually and providing economic benefits estimated at $2.45 trillion. However, lead contamination remains an issue today. Aviation fuel used in piston-engine aircraft is now the largest source of lead emissions. The story of leaded gasoline serves as a sobering reminder of the devastating consequences of ignoring scientific warnings in favor of profit. The story of leaded gasoline and the man who unknowingly caused untold suffering is a stark reminder of the double-edged nature of progress. It's a lesson that innovation, without accountability, can lead to devastating consequences. Clair Patterson's relentless fight against lead pollution shows us the power of science to correct its mistakes, but it also highlights the cost of ignoring warnings in the pursuit of profit. As we look to the future, this story urges us to tread carefully, questioning not only what we create, but also the legacy we leave behind. If this tale of unintended destruction and hard-won redemption resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Forgotten Frontiers for more stories that challenge the way we view history and progress. Together, let's explore the forgotten chapters of humanity.